Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and things seriously seem to be gearing up now ahead of the World Championship beginning next Thursday, with York Sublime finally making a confirmation on what exactly is going on over there. Lots of process suggesting that the initial replacement for Clayster has been somewhat unfairly left out to dry. Intrigued, take your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you were new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. Already up to the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, wanted to discuss a little bit about COD Vanguard, because there's been a lot coming out about this year's title in these last couple of days. Some box art and all that type of stuff hitting the timeline as well. If I show that on screen, that'll probably immediately get the channel copyright striked. You know how Call of Duty tend to be about this type of stuff. But this is apparently the plan going forward in terms of reveals. So these are the rumoured reveal dates that Chrome points out right here. So the reveal in just a couple of days' time, as soon as Champs kicks off. So I don't know if there's going to be some sort of collaboration there, or whether the guys who are revealing the new title even know that Champs is on. But still, the alpha apparently is going to be coming towards the end of August. That's pretty exciting. Then a PlayStation beta full release, Season 1, all that type of good stuff. And well, this one for Modern Warzone as well I thought was kind of interesting, because yesterday we talked about the doors and maybe some of the frustrations about that could cause for the competitive scene, and what that could potentially mean. And well, as Grant says right here, talk fast, doors were only on 2 out of 5 of the alpha tested maps, and those who were there were minimal and could be destroyed. Seems obvious they want them to be less of a focus, so maybe doors will be less of a focus than they were in Modern Warfare, which yeah, for maps like Ramaza certainly would be a welcome one. And I guess if they can be destroyed and you can just shoot them down, then maybe it's not too much of a big deal after all. But who knows, right? How many? Okay, 2 out of 5 of the alpha maps apparently only have doors, but out of the, well, 16 or what was it, 12 6v6 maps we talked about yesterday, I wonder how many of them will have it. Of course, that does remain to be seen, but I guess that's more on the positive side. This was also interesting though, right, about this whole dynamic environment, which it's probably about time that this is expected to come to Call of Duty. No more stationary tables and chairs in a room when a grenade goes off, so everything can go haywire. It is a wonder whether, okay, instead of going through the door, maybe you can just shoot down the wall or blow up the wall and just wander through that like it's Battlefield. I don't really know, and maybe that could cause some issues for competitive play, right? So maybe this stuff might have to be turned off. I don't really know how it's going to go, but just something to keep your eyes on certainly going forward. And it was interesting to see Call of Duty. Usually they try and shut down these rumours and leaks, they don't comment on it, but they were having a good time on the socials yesterday, which is very rare to see, and it was pretty cool to see as well, like them doing tweets like this, and Charlie Intel saying, yeah, nice to see Activision acknowledge and joke about the leaks, as opposed to how they have handled them in years past, no doubt. But let's talk about the World Championship then, because not long around the corner, next Thursday, when supposedly the reveal is going to be for COD Vanguard, well, the World Championship is kicking off on the same day. Fans will be in attendance on the same day. Great to see everything going ahead as it, well, seems to be, as we talked about in yesterday morning's video. But yeah, TJHaLy obviously pretty frustrated on the bench right now of the Los Angeles Thieves. He's not going to be at Champs this year, you know, never again, he says right here. So obviously wants to get back in a good spot next season. Wonder where that will be. Of course, I'm pretty sure the roster mania at the end of this season is going to be pretty hectic, especially because there could be some serious players on the market, maybe the likes of Diamondcon as well. Some of these guys that have yeah, had their good shot in the Pro League and shown some decent things, but yeah, can they get a chance next season as well? It's going to be pretty tough to do so. And there's a big discussion really right now around Diamondcon. Did he get screwed over? Should he, well, have been able to keep the spot? Is this kind of just what comes with being a sub for a team? But also, has he done enough to earn a spot next year? Kind of when TJ might be in a similar position, right? Trying to do his best to find somewhere next time around. And who knows what happens with some of these rosters, and maybe there's not too many spots up for grabs with how many of these teams are going to make changes and drop people down, you know, well, out of the professional scene, no doubt. So this is the confirmation that the York Sublime has made yesterday. Pretty funny video, to be honest. And of course, I imagine, like, guys, the rest of the social guys over there are involved with this. Like, okay, Aiden's coming back, then it's Ben J. Nassim, then I'm pretty sure it's Messi, that goes through me in there as well, which I did think was kind of funny. But unfortunately, your boy is not going to be in the starting roster. It's Clayster instead. They bring him back into the team. So yes, it's interesting. I just think the way they announced this, it was kind of cool in a way, but it was very different. We'll look at it in a second to have Dallas Empire announce their comeback of, well, when they brought FeLo into the team, right, and then they dropped FeLo back to the bench, then, yeah, maybe it was a more respectful kind of, you know, video to say, yeah, thank you to FeLo or whatever, rather than just saying welcome back on the Clayster side. So I think some people looked at this announcement and thought, okay, maybe this is somewhat disrespectful to Diamondcon in a way, that he stepped into the team when Clayster stepped out with the mental health difficulties that he was having. He went away for a couple of weeks, and now he seems to be back in force. They bring him straight back into the team. And a lot of people were going at Clayster for this, and I can understand the frustration, right, from the fan perspective, in terms of, okay, yes, Clayster just, like, steps out of the team, like Asim and the rest of the guys were kind of implying that he quit on them effectively. Diamondcon did his job, he stepped into the squad, and now, like, you know, just a couple of weeks later, Diamondcon is getting getting screwed out of his spot to play at the World Championship, right? That is one way you can look at it. At the same time, I mean, Clayster seems to be, as we talked about the last few days here when this is being rumoured, that yes, maybe there's, he gives them the best chance to actually do something at Champs. And, of course he wants to compete again at the World Championship, go for the back-to-back-to-back, like he has never failed to attend one of these $1 million tournaments in Call of Duty history, $1 million plus, of course, this one. I don't know how much this is, like 2.5 million or something along those lines. And I think it's a little bit less than last year, but I think the prize money for this year was like spread out more across the majors and stuff, so it's still pretty reasonable, no doubt about that. And well, this is what Clayster had to say. Yeah, I've been back at it for a week or so now. Obviously, there's a lot you're wondering, but I'm honestly not ready to talk about it all. Focused on Champs right now. We will talk in the off-season. Excited to get back in the saddle. So, very much interested to hear what Clayster's perspective is on this whole issue. Whether, the fact that he's stepping back into the team, does he, maybe he feels bad to some degree for Diamondcon, but at the end of the day, this is probably a sensible decision from New York to bring Clayster back, but at the same time, it does feel like Diamondcon's getting somewhat, it's put in a difficult spot, because, he wasn't able to compete at the Challengers World Championship because it was competing at the Stage 5 Major. So this was the comparison, right, between what Dallas Empire did when initially they had FeLo in and then they moved him out, and, it was kind of, not necessarily more respectful than Subliners, but, obviously they have different vibes as organizations anyway, but just thought it was kind of interesting, the comparison there. And this is what some people were having to say about Diamondcon, right? So feel for Diamond in this situation. Subliners were looking unbelievable with Clay at some point. I deemed them the best hardpoint team in the game at one point, which they certainly were. They won like 13 of them in a row. Hopefully they can get back to it for Champs, but of course, it's tough for Diamondcon, no doubt. Brian Saint says, the coach of the Minnesota Rokkr, based on scrims, I can confidently say New York is winning Champs. Everyone else is playing Berserker. No way Clay's a scrim player. He sucks, but CDL should start engraving Hydra onto the MVP trophy. So apparently, they've been looking pretty deadly in scrims with Clayster back, maybe rejuvenated, revitalized, and that's the thing, like Clayster just defines that team so much, and always has the entire season long. When he's feeling good and he's playing good, and the rest of the team is kind of going off his energy or whatever, then that it really becomes a scary team, right? And I was hoping that New York would be scary by the time it comes to Champs, and we're not really going to know how scary they do look, but supposedly they're looking pretty good behind the scenes. They play OpTic first, as we will look at it with the bracket in a few minutes time. And this also from Chrome wrote the honeymoon cheat. Clay is a genius. We simply step out of the team, then we come back in, we give the team a new honeymoon period, and then all of a sudden we win the World Championship, right? But at the same time, of course, feeling for Diamondcon is a pretty common thread, and as Looney says, I feel for Diamondcon, yes, missed out on both Champs because of this situation. At the same time, if you were an amateur player, with the opportunity to play at the Amateur World Championship, would you forfeit that for the chance to play at the Stage 5 Major? What an event that was. Maybe you would have done, right? So it's very interesting indeed, because yes, a Stage 5 Major gives you more of an opportunity, yes, to actually play on the pro level and to prove to some of these other teams that might be looking for, players in future seasons that Diamondcon is here and it is a force and to be reckoned with, right, within the scene. But of course, having to step out now for Champs is a pretty tough spot. At the same time, at the end of the day, you're a substitute on a team. This is just how it goes in sports, right? That, okay, yeah, you get dropped from the team for Clayster. Like, there's not really a massive surprise at that. At the end of the day, the fact that Clayster was stepping out initially was a surprise to many people, right? So, from a number of different angles, this is kind of strange. You do have to wonder whether the team actually, the chemistry-wise on that squad is actually going to work out, right? Because we've heard a seam and, the rest of the guys, I'm pretty sure, being frustrated with Clayster leaving that team initially, and understandably so, right? They feel like just ahead of, the biggest couple of events of the season, he effectively quit on them and stepped out and, let them, the chemistry and, the good team that they had for a time in Stage 3 kind of fell apart, and maybe Clayster just needed to get his head back in the right space, and now they're going to actually make a run towards the World Championship. Certainly not necessarily a team you want to face. Like, Clay at Champs, with all the talent he has around him, is not exactly a team that you want to be facing, and OpTic will be facing them in the very first round. As Doug says here, Clayster rejoining the Subliners for Champs is a great move for New York. I think it certainly is. At the end of the day, with Diamondcon, did they have a chance to win the thing? I don't really think so. With Clayster, you always have an off chance that they're going to make a crazy run. And a loser's bracket run is like so possible, right, at these events that even if you do lose in winners somewhere, like you can definitely make a run through losers, catch fire, catch momentum. And Subliners could be a team that's really scary in this tournament. Like, you wouldn't put it past them. They have an awful lot of talent on that team. And if Clayster's feeling good and he's playing well, as he was for the first few stages of this season, then I think they're a real force to be reckoned with. Not someone to overlook, that is for sure. But I feel so bad for my man Diamondcon, says Center being forced forced to sit out both amateur champs and the Pro League champs, and the Hearts come back from Diamondcon. Head up, Big D says in reply. Diamondcon tweets this: good luck to the Drazah champs. We'll be supporting them every step of the way. And Clayster says, look, love your kids. Thanks again to get that ring, says Diamondcon. So, you know, no hard feelings between the two. Like, there's some nice tweets between them. But I imagine Diamondcon feels somewhat like, okay, yeah, come on. Like, I could have had an opportunity here to play at champs, but unfortunately, not going to be the case this season at the very least. And as Revan says, the coach over there don't have enough good things to say about Diamondcon. Phenomenal teammate and even better person. He's stepped up multiple times for us throughout the year. Bright future ahead of him, no doubt. And you know, what happens with New York next season? Who even knows? Like, what this roster looks like next time? You know, who goes where? Is Diamondcon an option for some other teams going forwards? It's really tough to say, right? Because there's not many spots, right? In the Pro League, only 48 starting spots, no doubt. And this, as I was talking about, is the bracket. So Subliners will play OpTic in the first round. If they win that, they'll play FaZe. That's the thing. If you're New York, if you're like, playing OpTic is tough enough. If you win that, you've got to play FaZe as well. The only team to have beaten FaZe more than once this season is New York Subliners. Both times they did that was with Clayster on the team. So it just seems like if you want to have a chance here, you've probably got to bring Clayster back. And even if it does mean that the chemistry is suspect, if they do, figure out a way to work it out, then all of a sudden they could be a serious force. But very much intrigued to get your perspective in the comment section below. Do you think that do you think this team will improve, first of all, with Clayster coming back into it? I think it gives them the best chance, but still, it's going to be a tough bracket run, no doubt about that. Did Diamondcon get screwed over? And what even happens to this roster next season? Just to finish out with this video too, well, hype goes up for the return of LAN, I suppose, again. I was very excited to see that actually, well, everything did get confirmed yesterday that LAN will be going ahead with fans and all this type of stuff, and maybe we'll get more moments like this when Scump clutches this nice 1 versus 3 against Seattle Surge just a couple of weeks ago now on this main stage for the World Championship. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Like, you enjoyed this content, other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Go for the ping. He gives them the call outs. They have all the information, and Prestinni, well, with that position, able to find one more. 1 versus 2 now for Scump. And he clutch on up, and it's going to be tough with the bomb plenty because Octane can just back up the bedroom with that AR. And he catch them as they're running on out, but they just go up middle stairs. They just go up towards those middle stairs, and they're going to have an idea soon of where he is.
35 to go. Scump looking for the clutch. He's got to hunt. They're both water steps. And he fry both.
No.
Gets him behind. There's the first. They line up. And Scump makes the play to get to 8-4. And OpTic regained the lead.